I am not insane. Sorry. Well, actually, no, I'm not sorry. Anyway, before we get into that, I just want to give you a quick update. So, if you've watched the last couple videos, you know that the last few days were pretty intense. But today, even though, yes, I'm still coughing, I'm feeling much better. So, the coughing is much less intense than it has been for the last 2 days. Breathing also much better. I'm not winded from just sitting down. Yes, it's definitely not back to normal, and I definitely do get winded from just walking and doing normal activities, but at least not from just sitting down. And I'm no longer sore like I have been for the last couple of days. My back so far hasn't hurt today. The only thing is my leg hurts, still sore. I'm not quite sure why. I guess it's just the position from sitting down for the last couple of days without really shifting the position. And also a very slight headache. But considering how intense all those things were in the last 2 days, I'm doing much, much better today. So just wanted to give you a quick update on that. So now that I've done that, let's go back to the theme of this video. You're probably wondering, why am I making a video about not being insane? Like, where did this come from? Well, in order to answer that, I need to go back a couple weeks. A couple weeks ago, I posted some videos. I don't remember which ones they are exactly, but a few different people posted comments on a few different videos expressing concern that and implying that I'm either insane or delusional or bipolar, which is fine. It was done in a very concerned way. So it's like they were doing this out of concern for me. They weren't just being mean or attacking me or anything like that. So it's like that is why, because it came from a few different people, and the way it was presented is like out of concern, and they're like, I recognize the symptoms and blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, I don't believe that they're right, but I do understand that, if someone is insane, they don't realize they're insane. So if technically they're right, I wouldn't realize it. So from that perspective, even though I don't believe with any part of my being that they're right, let me still do whatever I need to do to just confirm this. So I spoke to my wife, I spoke to my father, my sister, a couple of people who know me. And the reason why I did this was because there's two versions of me. There's the normal, me, and then there's the YouTube version. And it's not like I pretend to be someone that I'm not. It's just in order to present something by video, it's obviously going to only show a very, very slim portion of my entire self, of my entire being. I always try to be as open and honest and share the full story as I can, but I know that you're watching this through the YouTube lens, if you will, literally the camera lens. And because of that, you can only see a portion of who I am. So I'm like, let me ask people who see all of me, the people who are closest to me in my life. So I went and asked them, if over the last couple weeks, couple months, given everything I've been through and, everything, have you seen any shifts, any changes, anything that is concerning? Do you think I'm delusional? Do you think I'm crazy to believe the things that I've chosen to believe? And the answer was the exact same that I had when I read those comments. Like, no, of course not. Like, you're doing what you feel is right. I respect that. I encourage you. I would probably do the same in your situation. To be fair, a couple of them was like, well, you're not more insane than you were before. You've always been insane. And to be fair, I've always been a little different, a little weird, but I don't see that as a bad thing. It's just I've accepted who I am, and I've chosen to believe certain things that other people don't believe in. That's fine. I respect their belief. Most people respect mine, and I appreciate that. And that's just the life I've chosen. So I'm like, all right, I've responded to this in the best way that I can. So it's like, my reaction is like, I don't think I'm insane. I don't think I'm delusional. I don't think I'm bipolar. None of my friends or family or wife or anyone close to me who knows the full me believes that either. But you know what? Let me go that extra step further just to be safe, just to make 100% sure. So I scheduled an appointment with a not a therapist, a psychologist. He works for the hospital. I met him a few months after I was diagnosed, so at this point, almost a year ago. And he works with cancer patients. That's his job. He works for the hospital and helps people deal with intense, life-threatening diagnoses. And everyone reacts to that in different ways. So that's literally his job. He's an expert in that. And when we first met almost a year ago at this point, he's like, I think your approach is very healthy. To be perfectly honest with you, you don't need therapy. It would be a waste of time for you and for me for you to come every week. You're dealing with this very well. Keep believing it. The belief, the mindset that you adopt can make a huge difference. I've seen people recover and heal from things they should not have from a medical perspective just because of the belief they adopted. So I encourage you 100%. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing the best thing for you. So given that, I'm like, all right, when I schedule the appointment, my expectation is he's probably going to tell me the exact same thing this time than he did last time, but let's still see. So I went and I presented everything, all the things that happened over the last few months, the YouTube channel, the comments, everything. And I just presented the whole solution, the whole situation, and explained everything in detail. And as expected, his conclusion was the same as mine, the same as my wife's and my family's and my friends. You are not insane. You are choosing to believe the things that will increase your odds of survival, and that's exactly what you should be doing. I see absolutely nothing wrong with what you're doing, and being an expert in this and having worked with a lot of people in situations similar to yours, that you are not insane, you are not delusional, and you are not bipolar. So it's official. I'm none of those things. Or at least not more than before. That's the thing. I like to approach life in a way that is very different from other people. That's why I laugh at bad situations, because I'm like, even though it can seem delusional from the outside perspective of like, wait, something bad happens to him and he's happy? Why? He's insane. I can understand the logic behind that. But to me, it's just like, I choose to be happy, even in unhappy situations, because I enjoy life more when I'm happy than when I'm unhappy. Not to say that I ignore the feelings and the emotions and everything and, all the bad things that happen. It's just I've trained myself and I've chosen to believe that the world can be an amazing place no matter what happens. So no matter the situation, I always find a way to very quickly process all the negative things that happen and then just adopt that happy, positive mindset. And it's the same for my illness. It's like, yeah, okay, I've chosen to believe I will be cured, even though from a medical perspective, the odds of me surviving are zero. Statistically speaking, I will be dead from this eventually. Yet I've chosen to believe that I will be cured simply because, well, first of all, that allows me to enjoy life so much more, no matter how much time I have left, whether it's months or years or decades. Being positive, being optimistic, believing that I will be cured allows me to enjoy my life so much more. So what is the downside of that? And it's the same for every other belief that I've adopted. And that's why I make statements that can seem delusional, that can seem like I'm insane for believing it. But that's just because I know the power of words, I know the power of belief. And that's why I make statements like, I am cured. And I say it in the present moment because it's not about like, oh, at some point in the future. It's like, no, I'm believing, I'm acting as if I'm cured. And as a result of that, the universe will deliver. It will change the world around me and provide that. That's what I choose to believe. Whether I'm right or wrong doesn't really matter at the end. If I'm meant to die, I'm going to die. We all die someday. I can't control when that's going to happen. What I can control is what I do during that process, how much I enjoy it, and also just stack the odds in my favor by choosing to believe things that will increase my odds. And it doesn't matter what anybody thinks, what anybody believes, yet I'm still a logical person. So that's why I went through the process of, asking my wife and my friends and my family and going to see a professional just to make 100% sure I am not delusional, that I am doing the right thing. And the conclusion is, I am doing the right thing for me. And that does not mean that what I'm doing is right for you. It probably is not. You just need to listen to what feels right for you and do that. And I'm officially out of time, so now that we've established that I'm not insane, let's move on with our lives.